Thanks, Jeff. I was real proud of our guys to knock out the 3-1 week last week. Like Coach said, this is a really tough part of our schedule too. Getting back last Monday at 2 o'clock in the morning, and this morning at 3 o'clock this morning, we spent 10 hours on a bus this weekend and 2.5 hours on a plane. So we got one day of rest. We got to get it in today, and then get back going again. We got a 5-game week this week. One at home on Tuesday, which would be nice for us, and then we'll travel on Wednesday, but it's not very far. And same thing with this weekend against Southeastern. So again, our whole goal was to try to get better as a road team. That was one of the things that really got us behind the 8 ball early in the season. Our guys have done a good job of learning how to continue to play on the road. I think you have to go on the road to get weathered, just like Mike and them are going this weekend to Florida. I think that's going to be good for them. It's been good for us to get out on the road because that was the issue that we had to solve, and our guys have been doing a good job being able to handle the road, being able to win this Sunday coming from behind was real big for us. That's some of the things that we had to get better at. And then again, getting ready this week. So this will be another tough week for us with 5 games coming off of 2 back-to-back weekend travels. But it'll be good in our weathering. We've got to continue to get weathered. So there's only one way to do that, and that's either play good people or, play out on the road. You can't show up on a knife with a Kleenex or a paper plate. So we have to continue to, get weathered for us to be there at the end. Questions you might have.
You talk all the time about 24-10, 30-15, 44-20. It hasn't always been the prettiest of times, but your team is there.
Yes. Well, every year is going to be a different year. If you look at the last 2 years, we've lost 8 professional players, and you're going to go through some peaks and valleys. I heard him say the softball draft is this week. We lose juniors now. As of 2 years ago, we lost 6 juniors. Um, you go pull 6 juniors off of Mike's team, he'll tell you that it can be an up and down situation. I mean, that's a tough thing to try to recover from as fast as you can. But our guys are doing a good job, and sometimes it is going to be ugly. Coach talked about his game Saturday. We had some circus baseball going on Sunday, but we were fortunate enough to, not end up the clown at the end of the game at the circus. So you want to stay away from those games. I tell the players all the time that the circus comes to the Cajun Dome. It doesn't come to Tigmore Field. So we want to try to stay away from circus baseball. But it does show up because it's a long season, travel, and everything can get involved. So again, we're there. Our RPI is in the 20s, I think 23. So we have to just stay the course, and continue to try to handle our deficiencies. One of our deficiencies was playing on the road. We were able to, we're starting to handle that better, so that's good for us. And we just can't stray from pitching and defense. That's the big thing we can't stray from. We not a team that's going to put up 8, 9, 10 runs a game. So we have to keep the score down. Um, we're 1 or 2 really outs away from a sweep because we had some guys at third base with less than 2 outs and just couldn't put the ball in play. So we were very close to really sweeping this weekend. So again, we just have to stay the course. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be ranked number 1 to be number 1. So it doesn't matter sometimes how pretty things are as much as can you just grind it out. And that's what we're wanting to do right now. We were able to do that this weekend and last weekend, and South Alabama's continuing to run. They got a special team, and so we have to try to stay the course and just stay grinding and stay focused on what we're doing and not look left and right.
What are the pros and cons of the split series, and what was behind it? When was the last time you remember having one?
I don't know if I've ever done really one of those. What basically happened is we hate open weekends, in our schedule. It's so tough because you got to go to the conferences that have open weekends, and not many conferences have open weekends. So the only opportunity there was to buy somebody with a guarantee. But when the odds are whoever you'd have brought in would have had a very bad RPI. So we discussed it. Coach Babb handles my scheduling, and he came to me with an opportunity with Southeastern. Southeastern's plays very good baseball. They're very close to us because we're just coming off of 2 travel weekends. And right now, we didn't know how the season was going to start, but in baseball, you got to protect your RPI to the best of your ability because, we have no backup plans. We don't have, the NIT, all these tournaments and stuff. We don't have that. I mean, we got 64 slots, man, for 300 and something of us. And it's a dogfight, man, to get to Memorial Day and see your name come up. So we have no backup plan. So we have to, the year we made it to Omaha in the College World Series, we didn't win our conference tournament, we didn't win our conference championship, but we protected our RPI. And so what we looked at was playing somebody that had a good RPI that can continue to challenge us instead of sitting at home and trying to fight somebody that has no name, and now you got to get your players up, and after 2 back-to-back long road trips to try to get them up mentally for that, I think we'd be very vulnerable. I'd rather go back after it against somebody that's good and somebody that's got a good RPI. If Mike has to motivate his girls this week, shame on him. I mean, when you play people like that and you play high caliber people that are good, people that get good RPIs, you can take away the part of trying to get them motivated for a no-name team that I probably had to pay for. And so you're going to pay for a team and bring in a bad RPI. And so now you're so vulnerable all weekend. So having to play Friday night here gives us our Friday night game, and then we go there for Saturday and Sunday, which, it's close enough for the fans to get to, and you get higher RPI points if you can win on the road. And you got to learn how to win on the road. If you stay in here all the time and stay protected, that's going to get you in trouble somewhere down the road. So that's the kind of way we looked at it at the time, and we felt it was better to stay with a good RPI team, even though we're not going to get all 3 at home, versus buying 3 and then having a 200 RPI, which we probably could sweep it. It would still hurt us in the RPI. Here, this is going to be a good RPI. In fact, a good RPI a week. I mean, Tulane's RPI is good. UNO's RPI is good. That's a road RPI. You get more points when you win on the road. We got 2 of the 3 with Southeastern on the road, which is their RPI is good. So this is going to be a good week for us for the RPI, and that's what we have to do right now. We didn't know South Al was going to jump out to what they did, but now we have to really protect our RPI to the best of our ability, and now this works out good. And you can talk to Babs. Scheduling's hard for us, man. I mean, it's really, really hard, and baseball schedules are so far in advance. Like, he's finished with 18 already. I mean, he's working on 19. So baseball schedules lock down early. And so you got to try to project out RPIs, and sometimes you can set something up for 2 years from now that looks really good on paper today, but ends up being bad 2 years from now. And we're just fortunate that 2 years ago when we set this up, it ends up being a good RPI team for the weekend.
Coach, you mentioned RPI. It's Southeastern the lowest one that you have this week at 59. Everybody else is below that. Going to Southeastern, they've got some quality arms. We've got a closer that they gave you a lot of trouble last year, and they hit the ball well. That's almost like playing any other tough team or regional team there.
Sure. I mean, that's the way to get better. We won't face their weekend arms. I mean, their midweek arms. We're going to face their weekend arms now, so that's good for us. There's only one way to, get better as a hitter is you got to face good pitching, and so we'll face good pitching. We'll face a good team. They have a very good season up to this point, and we'll face them 2 out of 3 times at their place. So, can't get any more weathering than that. I mean, that's good for us, and I can't design that at practice. We could protect ourselves, our record maybe, and buy somebody this weekend and stay at home. But to me, you don't get better doing that.
What's your plan on starters for the midweek games? Are you going to go Guillory at home again?
Guillory Tuesday against Tulane, and then we'll get somebody started on Wednesday, but the bullpen will probably handle Wednesday.
Coach, clearly you've never asked for Hunter Castle's injury, but it looks like Brad Anchak's really taken the regular play and ran with it. What's been the key to him stepping up? Has it just been the regular play?
Well, I mean, he should step up. He's an older guy. I mean, he's a junior college guy. You got no excuse. I mean, Castles is a freshman. as I said at the start of the year, you know, for us to play at a high level, our returners are going to have to play at a high level, and the 4 JC guys that come in are going to have to play at a high level. So the higher level that those 4 guys play at, the higher level we'll play at, because that's our age. When you lose juniors, I mean, out of the 9 guys we lost over the last 2 years, I mean, I think only one of them's in low A. I mean, you talk about all 9 of those guys are in high A. That's some dudes. And so when you lose all that over a 1.5 to 2 year period, we needed some age, so we had to bring in a few junior college transfers. So he has no excuse. He needs to be doing what he's doing. I mean, all 4 junior college guys need to be doing that.
How about Evan's performance from Tuesday and how much it can help him going forward?
Well, you know, he had an unselfish attitude. We brought in a returner that was a weekend starter for us. We saw the schedule was going to play out to where the midweek games are going to be on the road early. So we asked him to move out of Sunday's role for us and let us bring in a freshman. We felt we needed to develop a freshman starter. We wanted him protected at home at first, and he accepted that and went, I don't know, 4 or 5 starts without ever pitching at home. So he gave up his Sunday, you know, and to me that's servant leadership. You know, he did what was best for the team, not what was best for Evan Guillory. And because of that, he comes back next Tuesday, shows a complete game. I think he's up for Louisville Slugger Player of the Week or something. So you see, it's a game paying somebody back. The game knows who to pay back. It doesn't pay back the people that cheat and cut corners, but it does know who to pay back. And he said yes to a freshman, which selfishly he could have pouted and moped and everything else, but didn't, and went out on the road and got roughed up a little bit along the way. I mean, we had some games where we couldn't score for him. We had some games where we made 4 errors behind him, and I'm sure he's sitting there going, you know, this is a heck of a plan, you know. But he stayed the course. He stayed with it, so he got rewarded last Tuesday, and hopefully tomorrow night he can come out and be that same guy against Tulane.
How nice was it to get that production from Brian?
Big, because he's a senior. You know, that's again age. You know, you got to get some help from your older players, and especially that kind of help. You know, been hitting the ball out of the ballpark. You know, I mean, 3-run homers, man, they just break your back, and that was a backbreaker he hit on Sunday. And again, I was proud. You know, you had a long weekend last weekend, getting in at 3 in the morning, like Coach said. They had a built-in excuse. You know, we had spent a lot of time on a bus and a plane, and you got to Sunday, you're behind. You could easily said, you know what, man, this is too tough to deal with. And instead, you know, we had a senior step up and, you know, hit the ball out of the ballpark, and we'd finally got the game, you know, the circus to calm down and the ringleader to get out of the ring. And we finally got Demo into the game, and once we got Demo in the game, you know, and got back up on top of him, it was over. He shut him down.
Is Demo going to be available?
Now I'll bypass him, you know, Tuesday for sure against Tulane, and we might even bypass him Wednesday. We do want other bullpen people to throw, and again, he's a young arm. It's just a sophomore, and I think he threw, Jeff knows, maybe about 45 pitches for the weekend, which is not a ton. I mean, he's a starter in high school, but we'll bypass him Tuesday for sure.
Is there anything that he does anymore that's surprising to you? I mean, he's a sophomore. The guy's got under 1 ERA and just kind of ridiculous.
Well, I think that the key with him is every pitch that he throws, he throws it with every fiber in his body that he thinks you're out. And when you do that, you know, most pitchers question their stuff. You know, they make a pitch to the plate, and then they want to run to the plate and protect it. Hitters do that from time to time. They want to swing the bat and then try to protect their swing. Man, you got to throw down with reckless abandon sometimes. And the one thing that he does is he comes with you from feet to fingertips. He believes you out on this pitch, and then he does it again on the next pitch. I mean, when we brought him in, the bases loaded, man, no outs against Rice in a super region as a true freshman, and to get out of that was remarkable. You know, and so, but it's that's what I think his gift is that he truly believes with every fiber of his body and the look in his face when he lets go of the ball is, I think I'm going to get you out. And if every player played with that, you know, we wouldn't be where we are. I mean, you know, that's the whole key to this game, is getting them to play with that mindset, not throw a curveball and go, I hope I can get this guy out right here. He has no hope in his plan. When he throws a slider, he believes you're out. He doesn't throw it and hope he gets you out. He has no hope in his arsenal.
Demo proved he can come out and be a closer. Now he's proven he can go extended innings at the end of the game too. Is that kind of a luxury that you have to hold off on?
Yeah, because we, you know, one good thing is he's not just a 3-out guy, and what's good is we don't have to save him. And Eric Carter's been throwing very well out of the bullpen for us. So we can bring him up early in a game and get it and still have enough bullpen left, too.
Any more questions, Coach?
Thank you.